Firefighters in Queensland are watching a cool change ahead north that could make fires more volatile. Let's go to Anna Rawlings at the Queensland Fire and Emergency Headquarters. Anna, give us the latest. How are the conditions looking at this point?
Well, it's been a pretty mild start to the day here in Queensland. We are starting to get, though, some really strong gusts of wind, and that's what firefighters have been really keeping a close eye on. The cool change is going to come up from the south and meet a warm front here. They say that that combination or collision will create very tricky conditions, particularly when it comes to the wind. We'll see a northwesterly wind suddenly change direction to come from the south with gusts from the southeast, so that will see fires change direction. They'll change direction very quickly. We could also see fire fronts widen. There are currently 61 fires burning across the state. The majority or the main focus are in the southeast corner as well as central Queensland. Firefighters are also looking towards the weekend and next week when they are expecting to see similar conditions, and they say that they've already got reinforcements on the ground with more on the way.
We had 20 firefighters from New Zealand come into the state. We've also got 30 firefighters overnight that come in from the Northern Territory. We're expecting some more from Tasmania later on today. So we'll basically have about 80 firefighters from across Australia and New Zealand assisting Queensland.
Now, this change in wind conditions will also see a smoke haze that blanketed the southeast corner of the state earlier this week return as smoke from down south, as well as the fires around Queensland, is fanned to this corner. There has been a health advice in place for very poor air quality. We're expecting to get an update on how much pollution is in the air, of course, as well as the bushfire activity when the Queensland Premier meets with the heads of Queensland's emergency services here at firefighting headquarters a little later this morning.
Anna, thanks. The Gold Coast hinterland, as we've discussed with Anna, is a major area of concern. Residents already affected by the September bushfires are bracing for worsening conditions. With us now, Julia Bradley at the Boonah Showgrounds. A luxury lodge has just been evacuated, Julia.
That's right, a five-star luxury accommodation, Spice's Peak Lodge, just southwest of Boonah, where we are now. That was evacuated early this morning as a bushfire neared dangerously close to that accommodation. So it's nestled in quite an isolated spot in the hinterland, which is much of its appeal, but of course it makes it even harder for people to evacuate. So people in that area, they were being told to exit via Wilkinson Road because that Cunningham Highway, it does remain closed at this stage. So we are seeing conditions worsen today, as Anna mentioned. Those very strong, dry, gusty winds really expected to flare up this afternoon, and our residents in the hinterland, they will very much be on alert because, of course, these scenes quite eerily reminiscent of what we saw back in September when those devastating bushfires burnt to the ground that historic Binnaburra Lodge and also destroyed 11 properties there. So residents here, they're really not taking any chances at all. We've heard some fleeing to the Gold Coast, others to Brisbane, staying with family and friends and really making sure that they are out of harm's way as these fire conditions worsen. So we still have a number of watch and act warnings in place for fires in this region, including the one at Tyrone. We've seen just in the last half hour a bushfire rear its ugly head in Binnaburra, the scene of much devastation just 2 months ago. And of course we know as well that Lower Beachmont blaze, that's been burning since September. So they are very prolonged in this region because of just how dry conditions really are. So firefighters, they will be keeping a close eye on those regions today.